Hey everybody, it's GobletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we'll be playing my final attempt at the Lorwyn Eclipsed Play Booster Box Arena Direct. This will be my 7th attempt here. The Arena Direct is always incredibly high variance stuff. It is best of 1 Lorwyn Eclipsed sealed, trying to get 6 or more wins before only 2 losses. You only have a single loss of breathing room. If you have mana issues or get bombed out just twice, you are out of it. So very high variance event, very high risk, high reward. Buyer beware. I don't recommend it unless you're going to play it a whole bunch and you're very, very good. And you have the extra gems or cash to spare. Not an event I recommend to very many people, but I know that it is still some competitive, limited stuff that people enjoy playing, people enjoy watching. So that is what these videos are here for. Once again, super high variance. Even the best players in the world can get absolutely demolished in this event. Famously, Luis Scott Vargas in the Avatar: The Last Airbender Collector Booster Box event spent over $500 and got nothing back, which is why we have a very firm, hard limit on the attempts here. 7, and we're done. I cannot mentally handle playing more best of 1 sealed than that. So here it is, final run. We've had a rough go of it in recent runs, but we started off pretty great. Some 4 and 5 win runs a few times in a row. Maybe we can end great as well. We've got 2 Sunderflock here for the Elemental deck that's very strong. There's Glenalendra's Answer for a great counterspell, and Oko for a solid blue-green rare. Lewin and Doran are really strong rares in black and green. The problem we're having is that they're very unlikely to fit in the same deck as the Sunderflocks, which are our other best rares, so we'll have to see which is more supported, the black-green-white build or the blue-based build. Check out what we've got in the sealed pool. We do have triple Blossom Bind out of the blue, but honestly not a lot of elementals at cheap mana values. It's fairies and merfolk there. But if we go blue-red, we could get other elementals into here, and that could help out. Let's see. Red has 2 6-mana elementals, so we really don't have a lot of cheap creatures for the elemental decks unless we've got good hybrid cards. We do. We've got a Sneakling and double Gangly Stompler and a Noggle Robber. That'll fill out our early mana slots. So blue-red elementals looking perfectly fine. For fixing, we've got Wayfinder, a Core, and an Evolving Wilds for any deck, especially for splashing around. Any premium cards for any other archetypes. The Lewin and the Doran out of the rares for sure. And if we go for the Doran deck, we have Reaping Willows as well, which get big buffs from Doran, so that's interesting. As well as those just being strong cards in general. There's a Morkant's Eyes for elves. So if we went like green-black Doran, there's also triple Eulogist. Splash whites. There's nothing white to splash in outside of Doran himself. The rest of the white looks pretty mid. It's just some good cheap creatures, but a very low quantity of spells. So kind of just green-black, Lewin, Doran stuff, or blue-red or blue-green Sunderflock stuff. Blue-green still gives us Sneakling and double Stompling for early elementals. And then we get to play Assert Perfection, some of the other green stuff. We get to flip the Oko. Some Gathering Stone if we have enough creatures of the same type. Green-blue doesn't get the Reaping Willows in. We need black or white as a core color. Black and white look very light, though, in terms of quantity of spells. Playables here. Yeah, I mean, the big thing we're getting out of white is these Reaping Willows, but everything else in white is just... I mean, the 1-drops are good. We have good, cheap, aggressive creatures, but then huge drop-off. I mean, Appeal to Eridu is real bad. Shorelurker, Doomguard, Preacher. Imposter's okay. It's just not doing much. There's no removal here either. But what about, like, black for Reaping Willow? Also not doing much. All high mana value creatures and just 1 Auntie sentence. I do not like these colors very much, which is really sad for that Reaping Willow. I guess we have triple Chaos Viewer, but that card's not very good by itself. Blue's got that double Sunderflock up top, triple Blossom Bind early, Noggle the Mines, Counterspell, Cleansing. Blue looks legit, just needs a lot of creatures to pair up with it. Red gives us a couple top-end creatures, but green gives us a lot. I think I'm going blue-green splash red. We might not even need to splash the red. I guess I could technically play Glister Baron, but I don't think I have a lot of good like flyers and cards that are going to break through with that super well. Wayfinder Core, Gathering Stone. Could go all in and go for a Puka's Eye deck here too, because we've got Shimmer Wild's Growth and Hybrid Mana cards. Dorn's still a really hard splash. So we need to get 2 different splash colors. We need to get white and black, in addition to everything we're already doing. Yeah, my favorite red cards are Zealots and a Tweeze, and I don't know if I'm splashing in any of those. I guess I could splash in Zealots as top end, but that does get rid of the versatility of being able to land cycle them early. This is crazy that we really don't have interaction in the sealed pool. We've got Auntie's Sentence and Tweeze and Boulder Dash. There are 3 options to splash in some interaction, and they're all small. They're all 3 toughness or less only in terms of what they can deal with. It just doesn't even feel worth the splash at that point. Blue kind of soaked up all of our removal. Triple Blossom Bind, Temporal Cleansing. Okay, I mean, let's see what this deck looks like without splashing into anything else. Because again, we don't have particularly strong things to splash in. 20 creatures and cut a chunk of those. Start off by cutting some 3 mana stuff we've got a lot of. Vinebred Brawler, Silver Gill Peddlers. I don't love the Wellguard either. There are enough board stalls and sealed. The Glister Baron plays a little better than usual, and we do have a lot of tramplers for it. We don't have the flyers, but we have the tramplers, which is still good for it. I guess it's pretty good with Wellguard too. And then Stratosaur is good with Wellguard. Weirdly might be playing Wellguard here. 17 creatures. Or we just go 16 creatures, no Wellguard. That's also perfectly fine. I'll actually do that. Cut a bunch of non-land cards. I don't think we can play a Gathering Stone in this deck. Can we play a Morkin size? Hopefully. Okay. We have 4 elementals, 3 elves, 4 shapeshifters. Yeah, we cannot play Gathering Stone. We don't need Shimmer Wild's Growth, but it still ramps, so it's still fine. Don't need the core. Don't need the Puka's Eye. Not moving into a 3rd color. Or the Tend the Sprigs is unnecessary. I feel like we run Blossom Binds to deal with stuff. We run Oko as a bomb. Morkan size isn't even that good. We have 3 elves and then the shapeshifters. So Temporal Cleansing for removal. 16 creatures allows me to play 7 non-creatures. We're on 5 right now, so 2 more. Assert Perfection for removal. Just play literally all the removal we can. Okay, not literally. We do have double Noggle the Mind. I could play one of those. I might just play a Noggle the Mind as the last one, but we also have a counterspell, Glenalendra's Answer, as a form of removal. I think I'll go for the counterspell as the final addition. I like the Wayfinder here. It's a changeling to make the Sunderflocks cheaper and to make sure we keep hitting lands towards our higher mana value stuff. I don't want to cut that. But we could cut one more we could cut one more creature card for another non-creature. I don't think I want to, though. I think I'm fine with just 5 removal spells and a counterspell. Oko trying to bomb out as the deck. Maybe we could go land for draw spell. Lewin always draws a land. Doesn't draw a land, but make sure we draw a land. Cutting below 17 and sealed feels bold. Because like the Sunderflocks, sometimes we might even have to play them for like 9. Yes, like especially in this deck. Another peek at everything we're not using. Pretty happy with this. Maybe drop a Watcher. I don't hate dropping a Watcher for one more spell here. Yeah, I'll drop a Watcher. I'll play one of the Noggle Mines. Tiny bit more interaction. Although we do have a lot of interaction right now. What if we play one draw spell instead? I think these are the last additions we can make. I'm not actually running a straight up draw spell here. I might go Assistance over Noggle. 5 other removal. Yeah, I'll go Assistance here. And then we'll double check our mana. 14 blue cards, 9 green, but we have important double green cards. So I'll go 8-8 split on it with Evolving Wilds. Yep, because green can give us mana of any color or treasures. Yeah, call it a deck here, hop into the gameplay, and see how far our final attempt at this Play Booster Arena Direct will take us. All right, here we are, unfortunately, on the draw for Game 1. We can Blossom Bind their first threat and then answer a later one with Glenalendra's answer. Opponent starts with Temple Garden. Our first draw is another land, so that's our 5th land. Hoping for some cheap spells. Turn 2 Timid Shield Bearer. That unfortunately has a relevant ability, but I still need to slow them down, so I'm going to Blossom Bind it. And unfortunately our second draw was another land. There's the Vinebred Brawler. Now we have the Sneakling to trade into the Brawler. That was an excellent draw this time. Trade Sneakling into the Brawler or a combat trick here. Into the Brawler it goes. They drop a Wary Farmer. There's another Blossom Bind for us. I think I'd rather just hold up Glenalendra's answer. A 3/5 can hold off the Farmer anyway. Eclipsed Realms on Elves. Play a Foul Knight. I'll go ahead and answer that. Well, I have the mana up, because I'm going to be tapping out next turn regardless. Gangly Stompling for us. We can play Stompling and Blossom Bind in the same turn soon. There's Midnight Tilling. They mill 4 and find Kin Binding or Dundulin Weaver to pick up Kin Binding. Absolutely disgusting. So they go Weaver, pick up Kin Binding. The only card in our whole deck that could deal with that is the Glenalendra's answer, which we already used. So we had our mana up. So we are going to die to a Kin Binding fast, but they can't block any flyers right now. And 8 trampling power is a lot, so our best bet is to race here. Just slam these stats on the board. Because Kin Binding's only buffing stuff up during their turn. Ooh, and they don't have the land for it, so they need Wary Farmer to surveil into the 5th land. Send in Dundulin Weaver, that's a-okay. I would trade with the Farmer to keep them from surveilling into mana. There's a Safe Right Cavalry of our own. We can drop a Cavalry and a Blossom Bind. It's Blossom bind their cavalry. Offer Stompling for farmer trade. Racing. We do take this trade. The farmer has already surveilled them one card closer to the land they need, though. But they're at 6 life against 4 power in the sky. So we might outrace kin binding. If they just go land tap out for kin binding, that's dead, I think. Because cavalry can buff the trampler, so they can't afford to play kin binding this turn, even if they found the land for it. So they pass through. There's Glister Baron to give +4/+4 to somebody every turn. We'll lead with that over activating cavalry. We're essentially just activating cavalry with it regardless. And there's the concession from our opponent. Beautiful stuff. I thought I was going to get real punished for not having the counter for kin binding, but they couldn't find the mana for it fast enough. And even if they had, we actually had a chance of outracing. We had some really good draws to push extra damage there after running out the double trampler. All right, start things off 1-0 heading into game 2. Stratosaur can be one of the 2 green sources we need. Would I keep Triple Island Forest, Lewin, Assert, Glister Baron? Probably on the draw. Red deck from our opponent. There's a Mischievous Sneakling as our first draw. We do find a forest as well, so I can run out the Sneakling, or I can land cycle the second forest for Lewin next turn. Speaking of land cycling, that's what our opponent does with their Kolrath Zealots. They're on red-green. They're going to pass the turn. All right, I'll poke for 2. They've got the 2 in a red, deal 3 in their hands. They could tweeze the Sneakling. That would be my guess off 3 open mana in that color pair, but it could be something that like buffs a creature, I guess. Technically, it could be like the Flash Aura that gives +2/+0. Okay. There's Guild Weaver. I think we have enough removal spells in our deck to play removal relatively freely. So I might just assert it here. Okay, not if I draw Glenalendra's Answer. Yeah. I mean, taking 4 from a trampler every turn is pretty awkward. Maybe we do still assert it. But I would be asserting and then not holding anything up. Maybe just a 3/5 Stratosaur. Block a 4/3 with a 3/5 is the play. Can't play it yet, but do that next turn. Furdock Core's fine. Sarbrid Auntie is less fine. I'll counter that. I don't hate the trade here. Makes our Glister Baron a bit worse, but we can hold on it. They got 2 cards left in hand. Let's just take less damage here and then take over with all ease. Oh, cool. Hello. I can't just run out Oko, because then the core could get animated and hit him. So we can't run out Oko and expect to make the tokens here. So let's start with Stratosaur. So that we have the 5 toughness blocker against the 4/4 core. Then we can run out Oko. Tristan's Command. I mean, that card's incredible and we can't blow up the core. So they Tristan's Command us. If I play Oko, they just Tristan's Command away the Stratosaur and hit the Oko. think I play a Glister Baron and poke them, have them kill a Glister Baron instead of a Stratosaur, maybe? Yeah, the commands are just such massive 3-for-1s. Blow up our best threat, pick up their best 2 cards from their graveyard. Stratosaur it is. Yeah, that's massive. Picks up a Zealot as well for another 2-for-1. Take 6. We actually get to crack back here. Just not being green is very disappointing. I can't play Lewin and Assert. I need a black permanent on board for this to be big enough to assert the Zealot, so I just can't assert. Yeah, I can play Oko and +1 to make Zealot 4 power till end of turn, in which case they can still just hit Oko anyway. I really needed a 3rd green, not a 5th blue. Sunderflock doesn't even work because they're just going to play Kolarath Zealots. So Shine Striker. Shine Striker is a plan. And we use Oko to actually slow them down. And have them maybe just hit the Oko here. Oh, Glisterman only hits your other creatures? Can't even target itself. Kind of rough. Just chump to keep Oko. Play land for turn because we're about to draw more cards and potentially play land out of those cards as well. Bruce. Pitiless Fist the Lewin. It's basically just double trumping this turn then, so we get our 3/3s. That makes Shine Striker worse. That makes Shine Striker a lot worse. Shine Striker with only blue permanents on board? No, I'll have blue and green because Oko will be green. Off of a flip. Bristle Glutton.
My lessons will protect you.
Temporal Cleansing. 1 permanent off from a Convoke. I mean, even with this Oko and the Shine Striker having resolved, I think our position still looks really bad against double Zealot. There's Sourbread Auntie. Light onto the Gristle Glutton for some goblins, and then play a Pummeler. There's the Reach creature. That's off our attacks too now. Temporal Cleansing this Wildvine Pummeler. By cleansing the Zealot, Pitiless Fists falls off forever, but then they draw another card when they recast it, so I really don't think I'm cleansing the Zealot. I don't know why they didn't attack me with Kolrath Zealot last turn, but I'm pretty happy they didn't. If I attack with Shine Striker, Oko is super at risk. But they're dead in 3 more hits if I hit them in the sky now. We just gotta find a way to assert that reach creature when they replay it. We need to find a slightly bigger creature. I think I'm going for it. I'm gonna make one of my Elks all creature types, so if we hit our other Sunderflock, we don't bounce our own token.
What a lovely look on you.
Send it Oko here. If I sack 1/3/3 to keep Oko around for just 1 turn, I then flip Oko and get 2 3/3s and let him die. So that feels pretty fine. And then obviously Robber on the Auntie. I think we do. Sack a 3/3 so that Oko is double 3/3 and then dies. Or depending on what I draw, we might even plus Oko instead and try to use him as a distraction long enough to slow them down enough. For the flying damage to get there. Gangly Stompling is big enough to kill the Pummeler, however, that means I'm going to have to assert with Stompling and not with Shine Striker. So by asserting there instead, it'll take 4 hits to kill them because I'm never +1ing the Shine Striker. I'm spending 5 of this 10 mana, so I could get any 5 mana permanent in the top 3 if I go for the gamble -1. I kind of like going for the gamble -1. Because that meets right in the middle between Oko distracting them from hitting my face and Oko doing nothing. Because if I keep Oko on blue, the blue half of Oko isn't doing anything here still. But yeah, if I get the Elks, then Oko is no longer getting any attacks declared at him.
Servants, retrieve that.
Sunderflock. Still good here. This is the all creature type Elk, so we don't bounce any of our own cards. And then that's huge flying stats. They play a Pummeler, we assert the Pummeler and kill them next turn. That was a really, really good mill from Oko. I wouldn't be surprised if I was supposed to be -1ing then instead of getting 3/3s. Pummeler's back, but we have the removal for that. They have one card we don't know about. The other two, the Noggle Robber and the Gristle Glutton, will not save them. They have one treasure token to stop this. Let's see. They can't stop it. That is 2-0 heading into game number 3. All right, here we are on the play for game 3 with a great Glister Bear in hand. Both of these early threats having some form of evasion makes them pretty strong with the Glister Bear. Shaking my water bottle here. Sorry for the strange noises. I gotta mix up the fruit punch. Playing against black-green, there's Dunderlin Weaver. No value. Happy to see that. Well, Sunderflock's a little awkward against it, but you know. We've drawn 0 lands so far. If we don't draw a single land this game, have a problem. But we're 1 land draw away from Safe Right Cavalry showing up on time. Bristlebane Battler. Oh my god. Okay, incredibly bad draws this game. 0 lands, we've drawn 9-drop, 9-drop. That was a very pivotal turn as well, because that would have allowed us to cast Assert on the Battler through its ward. Okay. Find the land now. Against 4 open mana from green-black, it is incredibly risky to try to assert perfection. Because should they have the Blight Rot in response, they 2-for-1 us really hard. Unforgiving Aim to make a 2-2 and buff their board. Blight Rot on the Cavalry. Another green source is not Shine Striker colors. Assert against a single black mana is okay. But that would be the only thing I cast this turn. I cast 1 Assert or 1 Glister Bairn. Assert the Brawler and pass. %. Our plan from here is just try to survive till a Sunderflock. There's a Bloodletter. Go to 7. There's an Informant. Take 5 no matter what, but by playing Glister Baron, if they don't have removal, I'm threatening to eat a thing. Or by playing Great Forest Druid, I'm setting up for Shine Striker. If I have to tap the Druid to play Shine Striker, though, I'm just going to die because I've tapped my blocker. I feel like Glister Baron is kind of the only option. Right, play Druid, block here, take 5, go to 2. Tap it, play Shine Strike. I have 1 blocker up at 2 life. Yeah, Baron's the only option. It's Baron and they have to have no removal, but they have like all spells here. Go to 3. More Ken size too. Top deck is not a land. Blossom Bind Informant to make them move the thing elsewhere. And then even when they move it elsewhere, their other creatures are only 3 power, which doesn't break through our 4 toughness. Rooftop Percher kills us if we don't hit a land, because we'd have to tap Druid, in which case we die. Why? I have literally no choice but to play the flyer. I guess I go to 1, technically, if they have literally nothing. There's that island fashionably late. And are we dead this turn? Yep. Miserable draws. There's not much else to say about it. 2-1 it is, heading into game 4. Alright, here we are on the draw for game 4. Keep the Lorwyn opener. See where things go from there. Lorwyn into Stompling is decent. Definitely plop a land up top. I could Lorwyn into Noggle Robber though, but I think we just put a land on top with this hand. Stompling into Cavalry into Glister Baron is just quite the curve already. Let's make sure that we hit that curve consistently. There's Cinder Strike on Stompling, sadly. And a Foraging Wicker Maw. Take 3, go to 17. Drop Cavalry and pass. Blossom Bind on Cavalry. Take 3. Got a 1-4 to block the 3-2 if we run out Glister Baron. Let's go for it here. Mana efficiency. Send in Lorwyn. Deal 4, they're down to 16. Illusion Spinners tap out for the 4-power hexproofing flyer. That's very scary, very deadly. Go to 11. Find Great Forest Druid, which doesn't do anything about flying. About Great Forest Druid and Convoke out Unexpected Assistance. I don't think I can play Cavalry and do that. I can play Cavalry and Convoke Unexpected Assistance if I don't attack this turn. I think I still gotta be racing. Like, I'm blocking everybody on the ground with just those 2. So I should be hitting them in the sky here. Temporal Cleansing a Glister Baron. Ping me for 2. I can still Unexpected Assistance after putting this on top to redraw it. I don't think I can afford to redraw it with the amount of pressure I'm under, though, so I think we put it on bottom and then Unexpected Assistance. Or I Unexpected Assistance tapping it and then put it on bottom. Either's kind of the same. Okay, yep, this plays the same. There's Temporal Cleansing. 1 turn too late, it looks like. Because now they play any spell and I die to Flamecaster, any 4-mana spell. I even have to chump it now. Shine Strike, and I don't have cleansing mana. But technically I block spinners then. Jesus, dude. It's cavalry, cleansing spinners. But then when they redraw the spinners, it kills me off the Flamecaster, so I have to draw removal for Flamecaster in the meantime and go to 1. I mean, what can you do? They had another 4-drop too. Even if I dealt with Flamecaster, they deal with Shine Striker. Just unwinnable matchups. The way that our cards have lined into theirs. That is Magic for you. Especially best of 1 Magic. Alright. No play booster boxes of Lorwyn were acquired, but at least I'm free from this nonsense, and we get to play competitive draft next weekend, a format I far prefer. And it's a very, very exciting event. Next weekend is an arena championship. Not an arena championship, a limited arena championship qualifier, something like that. I don't remember the exact name, but it is a tournament that's basically replacing Arena Opens, where we get to play competitive draft of Lorwyn Eclipsed. And if we manage to do really well, 2 drafts in a row, then we could be leaving with massive cash prizes up to like a couple $1,000, plus entry into an upcoming very competitive limited event. So that's going to be a really cool event where we get to draft over and over and build the decks we want to play instead of whatever weird blue-green mush we end up having to play in Sealed. So yeah, it is what it is. It has been a rough Arena Direct this time around. Technically, it's still a positive win rate. We still won a few more games than we lost, but like 55, 56% win rate or something here. My normal win rate is about 60%. So it's been a rough weekend. And yeah, I'm happy to move on to something that isn't best of 1 Sealed. It'd be cool to be leaving on a happier, higher note, but I'm certainly not throwing any more gems into the wood chipper. That is 0 for 7 on play booster boxes this time around. But we got the collector booster box, which is honestly the more important and more valuable prize anyway. Collector booster box for the set is at like 400 right now, I think. The play booster boxes are like 150 or something. So we prized out where we could actually get more money by prizing out. So in the grand scheme of things, we got our good luck at the right time. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more, you could always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below, and if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.